Have you ever dreamed living in Australia? With its stunning beaches, vibrant cities, and unique wildlife? The land down under has so much to offer. But what if we told you that life here isn't always as easy as it seems?
Australians have been hit with the biggest tax
Well, housing affordability is now
Taxes, the housing crisis, declining healthcare system, and etc. are extremely serious problems that people living in Australia face. So, how specifically? First, let's talk about the financial strain that taxes bring. Australia's tax system is known for its high rates, which can significantly impact residents' finances. The primary taxes include income tax, goods and services, and property taxes, each contributing to the overall tax load. Income tax rates in Australia are progressive, starting at 90% for incomes over 18,200 Australian dollars and reaching up to 45% for incomes above 180,000 Australian dollars. Additionally, there's a 2% Medicare levy on top of these rates, which helps fund the public healthcare system. The GST in Australia is set at 10% applied to most goods and services. While this is lower than the VAT rates in many European countries, it still adds a noticeable amount for every expenses, contributing to the high cost of living. Property taxes, including stamp duties and land taxes, also add to the financial strain. Buying a property in Australia involves significant stamp duty fees, which vary by state but can amount to tens of thousands of dollars. Land tax levied annually on property owners further increases the burden. These high tax rates mean the significant portion of residents' income goes towards taxes, impacting their ability to save and spend on leisure activities. The financial pressure from these taxes, combined with a high cost of living, make managing daily life in Australia quite challenging. Next, let's dive into the housing market and why it's such a struggle. Australia is renowned for its high cost of living, with housing being a significant component whether it's renting or buying. Housing costs are notably higher compared to many other countries. For instance, according to the recent data, renting one-bedroom apartment in Sydney can cost around 2,500 Australian dollars per month, making it one of the priciest cities globally. In Melbourne, monthly living expenses including rent, food and transportation can reach to about 3,600 Australian dollars for a single person. Such expenses put a considerable strain on the financial stability, forcing many to live paycheck to paycheck. This financial pressure often leads to sacrifices in other areas of life, such as saving for the future or enjoying leisure activities. The cost of utilities and services, such as electricity and internet, adds to the financial burden. With electricity prices in Australia being some of the highest in the world, many households struggle to manage their monthly budgets. Internet services are also costly, with high-speed plans often exceeding to 70 Australian dollars per month, making it challenging to balance essential and non-essential expenses. Additionally, home ownership is becoming increasingly unattainable for many Australians. The median house price in Sydney, for example, has surpassed 1 million Australian dollars, making it nearly impossible for average income earners to make the property market. This has led to a growing population of long-term renters who may never own their own homes. Government policies and investments have aimed to address the housing crisis, but progress has been slow. Measures such as first-time homebuyer grants and affordable housing projects provide some relief, yet they fall short of meeting the overall demand. These rising costs and housing shortages make it increasingly difficult for people to sustain a comfortable lifestyle, leading to a constant struggle to keep up with daily expenses. And while financial pressures are a significant challenge, they are just one part of the picture which makes living in Australia impossible. Now, let's shift our focus to healthcare and its unique challenges. Australia's healthcare system is a mix of public and private services, designed to provide comprehensive care to all residents. The public system, known as Medicare, covers essential medical services, including visits to general practitioners and public hospital treatment. While Medicare offers a broad safety net, access to healthcare can be a significant issue, especially in rural and remote areas. In urban centers, residents generally have easy access to a wide range to healthcare services, including specialist and advanced medical facilities. However, in rural and remote regions, access to healthcare is often limited. There are fewer doctors, hospitals, and specialist services available, which means residents might have to travel long distances for medical care. This disparity can lead to delays in diagnosis and treatment, exacerbating health issues and adding stress for those need regular medical attention. The private healthcare sector in Australia provides additional options for those who can afford it. Private health insurance can cover private hospital stays, specialist consultations, and elective surgeries. Many Australians opt for private insurance to avoid long wait times in the public system and to access a broader range of services. However, the cost of private health insurance can be prohibitive, adding another layer of financial pressure on households. Navigating the healthcare system with its mix of public and private options can be challenging. The disparities in access and service quality between urban and rural areas further complicate the situation, making healthcare a significant concern for many Australians. But there's another critical resource that is in short supply. Let's talk about water. Australia is the driest inhabited continent on Earth, and water scarcity is a persistent issue here. Prolonged droughts have become a common occurrence, making it already limited water resources even scarcer. One of the most notable droughts, the Millennium Drought, lasted from 1997 to 2009 and severely impacted the water supply and agriculture across the country. Droughts seem to strike with alarming frequency. According to the Australian Bureau of Meteorology, almost every decade sees a significant drought period, underscoring a troubling pattern. In urban areas, this often results in water restrictions, higher water prices, and the need for desalination plants. Cities like Sydney and Melbourne have implemented strict water usage policies during dry spells to conserve their limited supplies. In rural areas, the impact is more pronounced. Agriculture, heavily dependent on water, takes a major hit during droughts. Farmers face reduced crop yields and livestock losses, which leads to financial strain and sometimes even the abandonment of farms. The Marley-Darling Basin, one of Australia's key agricultural regions, has been particularly hard hit, with water levels in its rivers and reservoirs dropping to critical lows during these periods. This constant struggle with water scarcity affects daily life as well. People have to adapt to using less water, which impacts everything from household chores to maintaining gardens and public spaces. The ongoing need to conserve water can be both stressful and inconvenient, adding another layer of difficulty to living in Australia. And finally, let's address the extreme weather conditions. Australia's weather is nothing short of extreme, making it a real challenge for those living there. From scorching heat waves to devastating bushfires, the country's climate can be both unpredictable and dangerous. For example, the 2019 and 2020 bushfire season, known as the Black Summer, was one of the most catastrophic in history. It burnt over 90 million hectares, destroyed around 3,000 homes, and tragically claimed 33 lives. The fires were so intense that it impacted air quality across southern and eastern states, with smoke traveling as far as South America. Heat waves are another significant issue, with temperatures often soaring above 40 degrees Celsius during the summer months. These intense heat waves can lead to severe health problems, particularly for the elderly and those with pre-existing conditions. Additionally, the high temperatures put a strain on the power grid, leading to frequent blackouts and increased energy costs, which add to the already high cost of living in Australia. Floods and cyclones also wreak havoc in many parts of the country. For instance, early in 2021, severe flooding in New South Wales forced thousands to evacuate their homes and caused extensive property damage. These weather events not only disrupt daily life, but also pose significant safety risks. Living with such extreme weather conditions can incredibly be stressful and challenging. It's not just the immediate danger that residents have to deal with, but also the long-term effects on property, health, and overall lifestyle. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, exploring the numerous challenges of living in Australia, from high taxes and a housing crisis to health issues, water scarcity, and extreme weather. What do you think is the biggest challenge, the financial strain or the harsh weather conditions? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like and subscribe for more content on global living conditions.